So today I will show you guys how I make wood signs. Got a guy who asked for some signs, so I said, I got you, I'll make you signs. I made him about a dozen or so 2 years ago, and I'm making 18 for him this turnaround. So this is just a random one I'll use for demonstration purposes and to show you all what's going on. Same with this. So I start out with white oak. That's the lumber I'm using. This stuff I think is just over $10 a board foot, or linear foot, my bad. I just using that for the project. Last project was cedar. This project is white oak. I have, let's start over here from the beginning so you can see how that turns out. So I print off with the computer pieces of paper with what I want on the signs. The font, so this letter sizing is like 150, I believe. Makes them about 1.5 inches tall. I got a tape measure right here. Right there. Yeah, they're about 1.5 inches tall. So this sign here is about 24 inches tall. It's kind of what you get. Some of the signs, as you'll see in just a second, are wider and double stacked letters. So I take the pieces of paper, tape them to here, use a knife, kind of cut through the letters to make an indent. I use a Sharpie, trace them out. After the Sharpie, I take a router with the bit sticking down about it, 1/4 inch or so, and I router it out. Obviously very carefully by hand, slowly, with protection. And there's all the scrap from all the other signs I've made already. And back to over here. So from there, I then take the signs, lay them out here like so, lay this cardboard that I cut a nifty hole into right on top. And I got this other piece here that I use to decide where I want to stop my paint. And then I just use this trusty Rust-Oleum Primer. It's flat black. It doesn't really matter too much what it is because it'll be stained and clear coated or polyurethaned over the top. So I'll give it a few shots of that, just hit that, and then from there I set it out to dry, kind of like so, where they will dry for a little bit. And then once they are dry, I take them over to the belt sander, and there's one in progress. And I sand it down. I start with 80 grit and end with 120 grit. This one is partially done just so you guys can see what it looks like. And then from there, I set it back down here on station, what I call station number 2. And I use this good old Pjne wax is the brand, wood finish. I am using the Ipswich Pjne, number 221. It's semi-transparent. You can see the difference here. There we go, just so you can see what it is, Ipswich Pjne. Makes it just a little bit darker so it's easier on the eyes, looks a little bit better. So from the white oak, it turns just a little bit darker, which I like. And then I'll use polyurethane over the top. None of these are polyurethane yet, but they shall be soon. Though this project that I did a couple days ago, this birdhouse is polyurethane. You can see the shine off the side. Yeah, just for kicks, why not? This is not oak. This is western larch, aka tamarack. You know, the trees that turn orange in the fall, and people think, "Oh my gosh, my trees died," and then they go cut them down. So different wood, but that's been stained, similar stain and polyurethane. And then after that, they're basically done. Oh, and I forgot a step. You can see the edges here. I take and do, I think this is a 5/16 bevel edge to the face of all these signs. And I typically do that directly after sanding it down before I prime it. So I'll take it and run it through the edge beveler, you know, like so. The other direction though, run it through. Not with my hand there, of course, using like sticks and pokies and everything else to get it through. So that's how signs are made. I would say each sign takes me close to an hour by the time it's all said and done. That routering is kind of hard with it being oak. Overall, though, I'm satisfied with them. They work great. They look great. They're kind of heavier than the cedar from what I made last time, but I do like the oak. The more I work with it, the more I like it. It's a little troublesome sometimes with the router bit wanting to jump around since it's slightly harder wood and since I'm running it by hand. So you can kind of see on the E there, the router jumped on me. So those are no-nos, but the guy doesn't really care. He's a friend. He just wants the signs. So interesting island, right? Who would name an island a Pig Island? I mean, why not like, I don't know, Island or Tree Island or Rock Island or something. All right. Oh, and just for kicks, bookshelf. It's gonna be finished soon enough. So